So I remember on various occasions sitting down with some of my mentors over the past couple of years, and some of the things that they would say to me is, you know, I remember Adrian once telling me, Warren, don't get shiny object syndrome. I remember Sebastian Braxton, telling me that focus is the key to excellence and that we really get the most meaning and fulfillment by focusing on one specific thing. And one thing, I think one of the traits that I had was that I would get super distracted, and I loved getting involved in various different tasks or activities. I would get super passionate, and so, you know, I was the jack of all trades or the jack of all passions. And what I found was that I never really experienced a true sense of fulfillment in these specific areas, because I feel like I never really got to a point of experiencing a sense of mastery in these specific areas. And I was just reading this book, Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. Amazing book. And I was reading some of it this morning, and he gave an example here of a social media post by 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗂𝗋 on how to develop passion. And this is what they say. I loved it. He said, basically gave 5 steps to how to develop your passion. So if you're at a place where you're kind of stuck and you want to be able to develop your passion, you want to become an expert in a specific area, if you want to achieve mastery, and perhaps you want to build a business or a movement or whatever it is, you have something significant and you want to be able to impact people's lives through this specific skill or talent or ability, these 5 steps are huge. It's just a basic overview, but super. He says, firstly, go experiment with a ton of stuff, right? Like literally just go and try out a whole bunch of different things. And I think one of the biggest challenges is that we're too scared to try out different things and kind of experiment with different things. He said, step 2 is identify things that spark your interest. So try those things out and see what resonates with you, and even then what doesn't resonate with you, right? Make a list. The third one is engage deeply with those things. So those things that really resonate, engage deeply with those things. Really take a deep dive, study, learn. Number 4, as you engage, if it goes from interest to true fascination, so if it goes from, just being kind of interested in it, you kind of like this, to, man, this is amazing, this is mind-blowing, I'm super fascinated, then go down the path of gaining mastery. And he gives this formula. This is what I wanted to get to, and I'm excited about it. I'm interested to see what you say about this as well, Kelly. He says, passion equals fascination plus mastery. So what are you interested in, or perhaps fascinated by, and something that you would want to be able to really develop as a skill? For me, it was public speaking. Coaching. A couple of years ago, it was music. I'd done various other things as well, like barefoot water skiing, playing various instruments, etc., etc. And I think the list could go on and on and on. So, I wanted to ask you, Kelly, what are your thoughts when it comes to passion, fascination, and mastery?
I remember actually doing something like this in one of my programs quite a while ago, where we were really talking about discovering our purpose and discovering those things that are really worth our time and worth our investment. And we drew these 2 circles, intersecting circles on the board, and the one circle represented your skills and the other circle represented your passions. And when we did this activity, we realized that, man, there's really a lot that I'm good at that's not necessarily a passion. There's also a lot that I'm passionate about that I'm not necessarily good at. But what's really exciting is when myself and those that were in the program could identify some of those areas, maybe some specific industries or whatever, that were right in the middle, in the sweet spot, that were in both, in the overlap in the intersection, where we could identify this as both a passion and a skill. And that is just super exciting. And I think when you realize that, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it doesn't just take just one little sitting down and a brainstorming session. Sometimes you got to test some things out. You have to go through the first 4 steps before you can get to that 5th step over there. But once you hit that sweet spot, life gets exciting then. Life gets really exciting because there's nothing more awesome, Warren, and I'm sure you can agree with this, than doing something that you not only love, but you're good at. Or like if you really love this thing and being good at it, are you kidding me? That's just so awesome. So I just think that I love this book, and I think that it's just great. I love this concept.
Awesome. So think about this. I love what John Maxwell asked. He asked this question. What is that one activity that makes you go, man, I was born for this, or I was made for this? And whatever that is, think about that.
What's your one thing?
What's your one thing?
I keep on thinking about these people.
I love how you like just all of a sudden get super excited.
I do sometimes. I was saying to Warren, I love it when I can witness someone doing just their one thing. When you watch someone and you're like, man, this was what this person was born to do, and it's so satisfying seeing that person doing that. For me, it's mostly, I'm talking about speakers who just stay in their lane and they just focus on the thing that they are super passionate about, and it just comes out so beautifully and allows them
their superpower, right?
Exactly, and it just allows them to serve the community so well. And whenever I see that, I'm like, man, I want to find my one thing, because he's doing his one thing so amazingly. I want to find my one thing so that I can be a blessing to the world. And the more you do, the more you go, the more the way shows. The more you get to learn about what your one thing is. So taking action, trying things out, it's you can't go wrong with that.
Awesome. There's so much more that we could say about this, but I think we're already at 6 minutes. So that's it for tonight, and we'll see you soon.